Good morning, friends. Welcome to Akulmach Live. I am your host today. My name is Chandrakant. Just in case if you don't remember, I meet you every day in the morning and discuss about the pressing business issue. And today we have a very interesting subject, and that is about the misinformation. Misinformation can affect your future, my future, everybody's future. It is definitely very bad thing to do. But in today's environment, misinformation is becoming more prevalent than what we want it to be. All right, so we are going to start this discussion. I will share some thoughts, my thoughts, and I look forward to your comments. And by the way, friends, we invite live viewers to debate with me. So just in case if you're ready with your mic and camera, the process of joining me live with your mic and camera is given in the description below. So all lines are open. You are most welcome. Please come and join. I am waiting for you. All right. So starting the discussion now, as you know that the misinformation is kind of snowballed by the social media. So we will discuss all aspects and what are the cause and effect of misinformation. It's a very important issue. It affects all of us. The first effect is the mirage effect. Mirage effect is sort of a indirect method by which the starting point or the person who wants to spread the misinformation can create a mirage, fine tuning the brain activity, making sure that you are brainwashed and you start believing in something which does not exist. So what happens is that when the misinformation is provided to you, and if it affects you, then you start believing that this must be true. If this is true, then all the corresponding risk parameter which you will start thinking will also become true for you. So it creates a mirage, but actually the facts are not there. It tells you that over the horizon there is something which is lurking, but it may not be true. So basically the mirage effect is the effect of something not being present, but you have been fed so many times that particular information, which basically makes you think that this must be real. So what is happening here? If you start believing something which is not real, then obviously you are losing out, because you are working your strategies, your mind is working on something which is not real. So if it is not real, then it must, your strategies and your plans may not also be real. You will eventually come to know about them once your plan starts to fail. Whereas your mind is already conditioned, and because of the misinformation, your mind is already thinking about pros and cons about that thing which does not exist. So it's very, very risky to become party to that. Whenever you hear something in the social media or newspaper or television, kindly make sure that there is no ulterior motive of spreading that false information by anybody, and make a double check of that. So we will discuss about what are the ways you can get out of this mirage effect of misinformation slightly later. But let's discuss what is the next issue in terms of what the false news, misinformation can create. It actually creates some sort of red flag. I already told you that when you hear about something and you believe that this is a true thing, this is really happening, this policy is really being implemented, government is thinking in that direction, government is thinking of for instance CAA, government is thinking of throwing some people out of the country, you start really believing that, then your mind starts to create red flags. Your mind starts to work on that misinformation, and then you start looking at what should I do? Shall I protest? Shall I preemptively leave the country? Shall I let go of my current opportunities? Shall I do some course correction? Because you are now thinking about this misinformation. So because of that, whatever you decide to do based on this misinformation will actually bounce back on you. It will actually create something which is not there, and your red flags, your risk management, your mind is already working to ensure that future must be bright. But on the contrary, you will actually create a darker future for you, because your risk management that mind has created is not real. These are not real, and because of that you will end up losing out lot of opportunities which might have come your way. But however, since your mind is already conditioned, you are not accepting those opportunities. You want to look in other direction based on the fake news. So this is something which is happening because of the false information, fake information, and therefore you must watch out for these things. Now there are a lot of fact checking tools which are available. I mean, you would ask, how can I do that? Because my window to the world is social media, or television, or newspaper, or word of mouth. But if you imagine that 100 people are conditioned, their brains are conditioned, and then you meet those 100 people, your brain will also get conditioned. So start living in reality. Start ensuring that whatever you hear is not gospel truth. You must validate whatever you, whichever. I mean, it has become such a big problem. Earlier, when there was no such activity of spreading the fake news or falsification of facts, then there was no issue, because you would actually tend to believe what you're hearing. Today, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt. You have to ensure whatever you've heard is actually real, it is actually happening. And don't believe anything on the basis of word of mouth. Even if you hear it on a credible media who has done the fact checking, don't trust that. You need to basically view that from all angles and then decide. My only sincere advice is, whenever you hear something in the media or on the social media or from word of mouth, don't take it to your heart, because if it is so critical, it will come back. So give it time to settle down. Whenever you hear something, some policy planning, something going on, some last date being announced, some social issues being depicted on the television, don't trust it. Make sure that you give it some time to settle down, and then truth will come out automatically. So don't start taking it to your heart, start creating red flags in your mind, etc., etc. So when it comes to social media, the virality has become very, very important. The viral part of news or fake news are multiplied because of the social media. What happens is that if you spend money in propagating your content, it can be made viral. There are two ways to make anything viral on social media. One is you do it organically within your own confine of your network. The people whom you know, your friends, family, maybe your business partner, business associates, you can actually start spreading your content to those people. They will actually like it, and so on and so forth. However, if you spend little money, you can actually send it to other people. That means sending your content, whether it is real or fake, outside your network using the social media payment platforms. So people who are actually spreading false news or trying to create some sort of disturbance in countries, trying to topple the political system, trying to create financial unrest, they actually spend money. It's a project for them. So what happens is that people spend money, and social media will actually propagate that. And there are checks and balances when it comes to social media. There are enough checks and balances to ensure that some political or fake news have to be verified by the social media. In fact, if you look at Europe and India, the validity aspect has been given back to the social media itself. They are supposed to validate whatever is coming through their platform, and if the government of India and Europe finds that something is going wrong and social media did not filter that fake news, then they are penalized. So what is happening is the fake news spreader, fake information spreader have also become smart. They talk indirectly about it. because they don't want to get caught. If they want to spread news about A, they actually create something which is attached to A and they call it B and they talk about that. So they are trying to beat the legal system by circumnavigating this aspect, and they have also become smart. But the most important part is that there is money being spent to spread the fake news. Can you imagine somebody is spending money, hard-earned money, to spread the fake news? But this is a reality. I mean, there are all kinds of apple in our society. Some are good apples, some are rotten apples, and they are spreading money, their own hard-earned money, to spread the fake news. Maybe there is a situation where those people who are spreading fake news are already fine-tuned. Their mind is conditioned because they got affected by fake news. Now they firmly believe in that fake news, and therefore they are spreading it across further and spending money to spread it further. Now let's look at the viral misinformation. What happens is that when we talk about viral information, then one person can send a message to 10,000 people. Those individual 10,000 people can send it to another 10,000 people. So what happens is you actually put one post, spend little money, and then it will become viral. Now the social media is saying that if we find something wrong, then you will be penalized, because the government of that country will penalize the social media. So there are ways of making sure that some things are camouflaged. So going back to the first point, the mirage effect. So they create a mirage effect, they create the misinformation viral, and if you are affected party and if you start believing that this must be true, then it will be a very counterproductive for you individually. So friends, it is becoming a very big issue today about misinformation. There are a lot of tools. In fact, I touched upon that aspect of the tools. There are various tools, but those are all paid tools. The tools can actually filter the information. So if you download those apps on your mobile or on your devices, the tool will basically filter, so these tools use AI, and if there is one particular item which is happening in the world, the tool will basically go to all the media which has reported that, make an analysis and give you only that information which is really true. Will filter all the fake aspect of that information. These tools are also there, and so that when you get up in the morning, this tool will actually filter what is happening in the world really, not fictitious one. But these tools are expensive, they are not free, they cost some sort of subscription. Obviously somebody is doing some work, they have created a situation. So think about this. If you spend little money to protect yourself from the fake news or misinformation which is being made viral, maybe it's important to spend some money to get the real information, so that your life is protected, your future is also protected. Believe it or not, this is something which is going to affect all of us. So do let me know if you have any thoughts, any comments on this subject, and I look forward to receiving your comments. And friends, thanks for watching me live. I will catch you again very soon in the next one. Bye for now.